It's been a little bit since Mickey has first entered the public domain at the beginning of this year. So with some hindsight behind us, let's talk about some of the ramifications that already happened, and what we can expect going forward. Now, first and foremost, before we get to anything that's actually coming out right now, let's just talk about the fact that the public domain is going to see a lot more use than it used to. Because, well, now we have Disney properties, or at least things associated with Disney properties, that are in the public domain now. And that's actually going to be really, really fun to see, and really interesting to see what people do with it as time goes forward. This is the first big animation project to go into the public domain, at least from Disney. So I think with, one of cartoon's most famous characters having an interpretation in the public domain itself is going to get a lot more use, and especially it's going to get a lot more use as time goes forward, with more famous Disney characters like the first iteration of Goofy, the first iteration of Donald. All of them are going to enter the public domain, and so what we're going to get is a lot more use out of the public domain, because now people can make a profit from the original interpretations of these characters. Something that we've already been seeing, and I'm sure you have heard announced somewhere, is we're getting Mickey's Mousetrap, which is a horror version of Steamboat Willie that takes place in not Disneyland. That leads me to my second point. We're going to see things that used to just be fan projects on the internet. We're going to see tropes from those become mainstream tropes, in a way. Because taking childhood characters and turning them into something creepy actually isn't that new, it's just mainstream now. There's been plenty of examples, a lot of them have just been non-profit little fan projects. And it becoming mainstream isn't going to go away soon. There's already plans for a couple of... There are things that have Disney associated with them, and with their original works in the public domain, there's already plans to make those horror movies as well. So, it's going to be an interesting year for horror buffs as well. As they start talking about Mickey and Bambi and Peter Pan and all sorts of other stuff. And again, this used to just be some silly little thing on the internet. This wasn't really a mainstream idea until very recently when this idea became profitable. When it comes to smaller devs and non-mainstream media, I think a lot of smaller creators can benefit from Steamboat Willie being in the public domain, because they can make more interesting interpretations of the character without Disney absolutely putting the ban hammer on them, as they call it. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I think are worth talking about, now in terms of Mickey Mouse entering the public domain. Thanks for watching!